Hi, I'm Caroline Pemberton for Virtual Office, and today I'm with Mike Boyd, the Strategy Director of AlphaSalmon. Mike, you've developed some award-winning strategies during your career for some very well-known brands. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we've done a lot of work back in the day with Volkswagen and McDonald's, which were very, very successful, and at the time were well ahead of their time in terms of their sophistication. But then more recently with Tabcorp, we've done a lot of work with mobile and around iPhone and the mobility of punting, which has been fantastic. And then obviously doing other development work for the internet and some interactive TV platforms as well.
When a customer comes to AlphaSalmon and wants you to deliver everything, including a secure host environment, do you do that in-house or do you outsource?
Look, there are parts that we try to obviously in-source as much as we can. We've got a very, very strong development capability internally, but there are always going to be areas of specialisation where you're going to have to outsource, whether it's on mobile platforms or platforms for television or for different areas. And then obviously hosting that we outsource exclusively through Virtual Office. Look, Virtual Office is a partner we can rely on. I think that's probably the simplest way to answer the question. Really digging further into that, they're a supplier that we can depend upon. They're a supplier that is reactive when things go bang and stop working. They're a supplier that we can pick up the phone to. We can talk to someone on the other end of the phone and say, look, we need this, or what about that, or are we okay for this? And we get an answer straight away. There's no ticketing. There's no get in a phone queue. There's no look, we'll get back to you. There's no sorry, we're closed. For business hours, there's someone there 24/7 to help us deliver for our clients, which ultimately reflects well on us and well on Virtual Office.
So why did you choose Virtual Office?
Well, I think they compare incredibly favourably. I mean, they are an organisation where, as I said, you talk to someone and say, look, guys, this something's happening at this particular layer in the infrastructure. So whether it be at the app tier or the web tier. And we know that we can say, look, we think this is where it is. What can we see? There's a lot of cooperative engagement when things do go wrong, and you just don't get that with any other provider.
When major carnivals like, say, the Melbourne Cup are on, how much extra demand does that create? And what's the risk if that all falls over?
Look, Melbourne Cup, to give some perspective, is 10 to 15 times bigger than the next biggest race day any day of the year. And one of the key things that we always used to say at Tabcorp was that you needed to be able to run a Melbourne Cup any day of the year. That's the level of sort of flexibility that we used to have. The risk of not being able to fulfil that is absolutely catastrophic. I mean, you risk people, particularly in a punting sense. If I want to get a bet on a particular runner, I want to place my bet as close as I can to the jump, but if my bet doesn't go on and that runner wins and it's been a fault of the website that I haven't been able to get my bet on, the customers are absolutely filthy. Any major e-commerce provider will say that at the end of the day, it's got to be about handling that load, whether it comes in the middle of the night or the middle of the day. You've got to be able to help your customer.
And what have they done to help when the demand from those ancillary sites has exceeded and peaked beyond all expectation?
Virtual Office delivers confidence. Virtual Office allows us to deliver that level of confidence to our clients and our customers, to be able to say, look, that website for the Melbourne Cup or for the Caulfield Cup or for the Crown Oaks, we know it's not going to fall over. We know that we've got that scalability and that capability to be able to say to Virtual Office, look, we're expecting this level of traffic, let's maybe go over by 20-30% buffer, make sure we've got plenty of headroom there, and then they know what to expect, they know what's coming. Similarly with Vodafone, when the iPhone 4 launched recently, it couldn't have been less dramatic that our key people back at the office, they were in contact with Virtual Office, they knew what was coming, they had the expectation of what the traffic levels were, and it was an absolutely faultless experience for customers from start to finish.
So how much does it help having a company like Virtual Office keeping you abreast of any advancements in the infrastructure layer or the data centre?
It comes down to that level of confidence. It gives us that level that We know that we can focus on what we're good at, and we know that Virtual Office is going to be focusing on what they're good at. We build the application, we build the connectivity, we build the interface, and then we put our trust very confidently, I must add, in Virtual Office to deliver that that connectivity between the customer and the client in terms of what the application is that we've built for them. There's nothing more important than delivering that level of confidence.
Well, we really enjoyed the discussion with you today. Thanks so much, Mike.